You think I won't record a podcast? I will. I'll record a podcast. What the fuck?
Do it.
So, we got a mature rating already. What's up, man? How are you this week?
I am doing well. It is a 3-day weekend, so all is right with the world.
You got President's Day off?
Yeah, because it's a federal holiday and you're supposed to.
Oh, well, we don't, because we're Mississippi and we're just a drain on society.
You just decide to ignore that law.
I don't know, man. It's like, and I have an assessment tomorrow anyway. I probably get to tell some idiot that he doesn't have ADHD. ADHD, man. People don't know what it is. People come in and they don't even qualify for self-report. So there's a part of the assessment where we just basically ask them about their symptoms, just to see if they even get that right. And we have a computerized test, which actually determines if they do have it or not. But, I mean, you're supposed to at least pass the part where we ask you if you have an intention, right? Anyway, people don't. They'll endorse, yeah, exactly, yeah. Lost your focus. And they're just like, yeah, so did I tell you about the guy that was, basically Edward Cullen?
No.
This guy comes in. Oh, my God. It looks just like Edward Cullen in the top half of the face. And he's like...
Did you wake up and he was just watching you sleep?
Yeah, he was like, dude, I was just watching you sleep.
It's soothing.
And he talked like that. He comes in, and for those who don't watch the YouTube video, which is 99% of our listeners, but I wish you could just imagine Edward Cullen's stupid face. And he's like, hey. And I'm like, hi. Are you here for the ADHD assessment? He's like, yeah, man. That's what I'm here for. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm trying. At this point, I actually kind of giggled. I looked at him and I was like, oh, he's serious. I thought he was fucking around with me. So I was like, and he's like, I was like, do you know why you're here? And he's like, I got the ADD. And I was like, this is gonna be horrible. But anyway, this guy basically just he's like, I don't like to study, so I don't know. But I've been taking the medication for a long time. I was like, okay, who provided the diagnosis? My physician. Yeah, it's not a real diagnosis then. That's what you call it. I don't know what they have, and I'm just gonna treat it anyway, right? So I was like, we're gonna test you if you actually have ADHD. It turns out when you get to college, we require that. So anyway, I gotta tell people like that they don't have it, and they always get really confused.
But I don't like.
Then why?
Why don't I like?
What
to
am
study
I doing?
then?
Yeah, I do so poorly though in class, and I'm like, yeah, because you fucking don't do anything right. And then I give them stuff they're not gonna read, a real small thing about how to get A's, basically, the habits you need. And then the second one is the SQ4R method. But do you know about that?
SQ4R? No.
Yeah. I don't really remember it either. But it's I give them this sheet every time, and I haven't read it in 2 years or 4 years. It's a survey, question, read, recite, review, some crap like that. Basically, it's how to get information into your head.
Yeah, you should send that to me, because I have a couple students who every 5 minutes I'm like, hey, right here, this is where the learning's happening, right in front of you.
Yeah, and some people really legitimately have ADHD. I'm not shitting on the diagnosis. I just gave a diagnosis to a guy who definitely had it, but just so many people, probably 70 to 80% of people coming to get to us that don't have it, and they're like, I already got a diagnosis. I just need the sheet of paper. And I'm like, okay, who'd you get the diagnosis from? A psychiatrist. What was their method? I don't know. I just told my symptoms. Oh, self-report. Okay, yeah. Then we'll determine if you actually have it. And they don't. And the parents get pissy, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, bud. The ADHD is 2 to 3% of the population, not 95 people coming in here every semester thinking they got it. But anyway, whatever.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So that's my anyway. Game 3 podcast. It's relevant somehow. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna be assessing someone for ADHD, and not getting the day off. Do you know what you're gonna do with your day off?
Just get caught up on gaming, caught up on TV.
That'd be fun. Speaking of gaming, we just played Heroes of the Storm, and we were thinking we were playing against bots. So we make the most ridiculous composition.
We're all
the team is just so bad. We were just like, let's go with our worst characters. And we get just rolled on in mid lane by 5 guys, and I'm like, these bots are aggressive.
They came out of nowhere. We're all dancing in the middle.
Yeah. Oh my god. We were just like, what the hell? These are people. These are people. We all just run at.
We all scramble.
Oh man.
Good times.
Anyway. Yeah, so you probably won't be doing that though.
No, probably not.
Do you know what you're gonna play?
Well, trying to finish Final Fantasy IV, but I've got that halfway, like 4/5 the way through a game thing where I'm like, I think I've gotten the most I'm gonna get out of this game, and starting to like get antsy to move on to something else.
Yeah, that happens to me. What happened to the good old days, man, where there was like no games to be had, so you just finished everything because you had nothing else to do?
I've just left a wake of half-finished games in my library. It's pretty sad, and then I just get kind of overwhelmed, and I just play Spider-Man Endless Run until I stop wanting the game.
That's what happens to me. Like, that's why I play Here's the Storm now. I got a few different really good games, but I'm like, it's a whole thing, and you got to start it, and it's a commitment. I don't know. Something to be said about those little 20-minute chunks of like that you can. It's like when you check Facebook whenever you got other things to do, other fun things. It's weird, but we kind of talked about that in the LAN party episode.
It's true. It's a problem, but what can you do?
I'm trying to adjust my mic. I'm sorry. Okay.
Those are all great sounds.
Thank you. But anyway, let's talk about some of the things that we've seen in the news, in the recent news section. All right, this is the recent news section where we talk about the things that have been going on in the news. So, what have you seen in the news, man? Anything super interesting?
Great news. Spidey has come home. This is the big news of the week. He has come back to Marvel for movies, so we'll actually get to see him in a Avengers kind of setting.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so he still belongs to Sony, but they've reached an agreement, the most obvious agreement ever, where they get to use each other's character, or Marvel gets to use Spider-Man, and they split the profits or something. But that one seemed like a no-brainer. I'm surprised it took them that long.
Yeah, what the hell? It's win-win, and everybody wants it.
Although it's not going to be the talk is it's not going to be Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, so we'll have another Spider-Man actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so it's going to be a different one, and then when they do Amazing Spider-Man 3, it's going to be Garfield again?
From what I've read, Garfield's done. He's severed ties with Sony.
Oh, that's weird.
So they're
that sucks, man. I actually like that. I like that franchise. I like the Amazing when they brought that in.
Yeah, I love that when he dubstepped Itsy Bitsy Spider. Like that was exactly how I imagined Spider-Man fighting Electro.
Yeah, that was a bit cheesy, but I liked it. I thought it was hilarious, and my kids loved it. So what can you do? Oh man,
it was still better. It was still better than Venom from Spider-Man 3.
Oh god, so bad.
Real low.
What if they're gonna do the Iron Spider thing? You know?
Well, yeah, they're talking about bringing him in for the Captain America Civil War movie, so we'll probably see him as a pro-registration Iron Spider at the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of figured they'd do that for the Civil War thing. Have you seen all those little memes on the internet? But I've seen a bunch of them on Reddit, and it says, "How is the Civil War going to start?" And then it's like it's almost always like a talk between Captain America and Tony Stark, and so it'll be like one it said, "Oh, jeez." Now, if I can't think of an example, I'm gonna feel really stupid. So basically, it's like these pictures of that like face-off they had where he's like, "Yeah, big tough guy, take away that suit. What are you?" It's like from that scene, and there was one about what was it? I can't remember. Fuck, man, you guys are gonna have to Google it. I suck, but it's hilarious.
You're Chris Farley giving interviews right now. Remember that time you were in that movie and you had to walk? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Hold on. All right, so entertain some people. I'm gonna look one up so I don't look stupid.
Yeah, so I got really excited about Spider-Man and went on Amazon last night and just sort of added all things Spider-Man to my wish list, like the Superior Spider-Man hardback collection and the Spider-Verse hardback collection. So that news made me pretty excited.
Okay, here I'm gonna give you. This is some of them right here. I'll read them out loud, but I want you to look at them too. Ready? Okay.
All right. Here I come.
Yeah, check out the top one. It just shows like them in each other's faces, and it's like switches from panel to panel. And the first one is Captain America. They're like mean mugging each other, and Tony Stark goes, "It's pronounced Jif," and then they like this stare down, and then it just goes, "Bam! Civil War." Because the whole GIF thing. I definitely call it GIF. I don't understand the GIF thing, but oh man.
They're arguing about who the best Star Trek captain was.
Yeah, Civil War.
I love the Amazing Spider-Man movies, way better than the originals. And then they're all looking at him like he's insane.
Yeah, they're just like steely gazes, and then it's like, bam, Civil War. Oh man.
Everything special about you came in a bottle. You're just a robot Batman. Civil War.
Civil War. Did you eat the last pizza roll? Civil War.
I wish my dad loved me. He loved me.
Anyway, yeah, you guys should go check those out. They're pretty hilarious. Oh man. But anyway, for the news for me, did you see that there's like all this drama right now? I don't know what it is about video game developers and drama recently with the whole Gamergate bullshit and like all that. But there's this guy who got a lot of money to make a game called Goddess. He was one of the developers behind all the God games. In fact, they say that he's the guy who started them all. So like the God games being like Black and White, and if you played that a while back, where you play a god.
Uh-huh.
But he started those. He started can't remember a couple of the other ones, but he's been a big deal for a while. I think it's Peter, and it's a Canadian name, so I'm not exactly sure, but Molyneux, I think. Molyneux. Anyway, he started a new game with a Kickstarter fund. Got a ton of money. It's called Goddess, where you're basically kind of like Black and White again, but you can like sculpt the landscape, and it's supposed to be on tablets too. It should be pretty cool. But anyway, he's just sick of the shit at this point, because like he kind of failed on every aspect of promises that he made, which is shitty. But now it's to the point where people are like threatening his life and stuff, and I just get so serious about video games, man. Like
that
on a show where the anonymity, and on a show where the whole point of it is to take video games seriously. It's a bad sign if I'm like chill out about the video game. Like,
yeah,
know, man.
We take it seriously. We rarely threaten to kill somebody over them.
Yeah, like I think that might be the dichotomy there. Like a lot of people, when they take something seriously, they get really upset whenever things go poorly. But there's a way to like take things seriously in the positive sense, and then whenever it goes bad, you just kind of like use mindfulness or whatever else that you want to use to like.
You can enjoy something religiously without starting a crusade over it.
I think you just broke the internet, because that's the internet. Like people, man. Like in Firefly, for example, I really want to see that come back, but there's people who are very upset about it. Or like another one was George R. Martin. He talked about like the hate mail that he gets, and I was like, hate mail, dude, you're like a god right now in culture. Game of Thrones, come on, like that's like a whole thing now. And he's like, no, dude, I get just every day just tons of scathing emails. And I'm like, dude,
George R. Martin's life is like being a perpetual grad student who's always missing deadlines on a dissertation.
Yeah, that's it.
And like you're constantly getting harassed by your professors.
Yeah, that's it. And except instead of just having like one advisor and a couple other like faculty that are influential, it's like everybody in the United States is your professor.
Is your advisory board, yeah. And also, you don't have to answer to them. So there's that crucial difference.
Speaking of that, I just gave like the very worst. Friday, I had to stay after. Like normally I leave at 2 and then I do things at home, but I had to stay after to show this like applicant around who's trying to get into the program, and that combined with the fact that I've been in this grad school forever, and I just want out, like really did not go well. Like she's like, how are things? I'm like, I don't know, it's fucking just grad school. Just do it. Just get it over with. You have to do it. And she's like, really? Well, I mean, but it seems pretty fun to be like in a lab and like you just get to hear about all this new research all the time. And I'm like, I guess, I don't know, for a while. But then you have to do that.
Then
so
you're
it sucks.
Crushed.
And I'm looking at because it's Friday at like 4 o'clock, and I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like, come on, man, like just stop asking questions. Like I just want to shut her up. I felt bad, and I showed her around the clinic. I was like, that's where you like do therapy and shit, and then it's where you do all the notes for days. That back there is my office. It's the one with the Sith symbol. It's Sith because I fucking hate it. Like, it's so bad, man. So I don't think she'll be coming. Like,
you didn't really sell it.
Like, no, I didn't. No, she came in from like she would talk to a couple of faculty members, and I'd walk her around some more, and it was just not good, man. She's like, well, what do you research? And I'm like, I don't fucking know anymore. It doesn't matter. Video games. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, video games. She's like, that's pretty interesting. I'm like, yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm like, it's pretty cool. She's like, so you probably like look at how violence like affects people, and I was like, It doesn't affect. I got mad. I was like, it doesn't affect people. It doesn't. Like, if people in our own field can't even figure that out. I was like, ah. Anyway, I feel bad for her because when she left, she did not seem very happy.
Well, maybe you saved her life.
I hope so. I was like, but the worst part is she's like, oh yeah, I mean, I actually thought about maybe getting into a master's program and then, like just being a psychometrist, which is someone who just does assessments. And I was like, no, it's too late, man. You made the mistake when you majored in it in high school, man. There's nothing you could do, or college. There's nothing you can do now. It's just a long road of hatred. But anyway, it's like I think it's like
good.
So I think it's probably like basic training. Like once you're on the other side of it, you're like, oh man, it's nice to be done with that, and I'm glad to enjoy the benefits. But at the time, you're just like, why? Why is this a thing? Why did I do this?
Yeah, you've been doing that for as long as I've known you. Feels like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's dumb shit. But anyway, so yeah, that's not the news, but that's something that happened to me. Did you like? Ugh.
I got another story here. Japan, they have a conference for arcade games. That's still a thing in Japan. And
okay. All right. You mean arcades?
Yeah, like arcades. Like I don't know. When I went to college, they had this thing called the Nickelcade, where you could go in and play all these old arcade games for a nickel. That's like where arcade games went to retire after the 80s ended.
Yeah.
Stopped being a thing. But in Japan, it's still a thing. Like they've got these tall buildings, like 13-floor buildings of just like these towers, and they're just filled with arcades all the way up to the top. And I don't know. That was like one of the things I remarked about Tokyo the most was just like arcade games everywhere. Not even counting like the pachinko games, but just like Dragon Ball Z or Resident Evil, whatever. They've got arcade games, and they're new and modern and interesting. And they just don't make it over here. They sometimes get ported into consoles, but there's a lot of good games over there. You just have to play in the arcade. Like you like climb into a mech and you're fighting these big mech battles.
Really?
So anyway, they just had a conference. They announced a couple new things, like a Final Fantasy Dissidia fighting game, where just like all the Final Fantasy characters fighting each other in like this Dragon Ball Z style arena where they're just flying around throwing fireballs and stuff. And the big announcement though was Attack on Titan coming out in an arcade.
Yes. Wait, how does is it just a joystick or how do you?
There's no gameplay footage. They basically just showed Attack on Titan as a screen, and everyone lost their shit. It was just like, oh my god! And then they're like, yep, it's coming, and you're gonna play it, so we don't have to show you footage.
These assholes. There was one on the 3DS. Did you ever get that?
No, it only came out in Japan.
Oh, jeez, Japan. What the hell? First the age of consent being like 13, and now this?
You're really dropping the ball, Japan. Although those two things, I think one's more serious than the other.
Yeah, but also 13 is pretty, that's pretty low too. So. But Attack on Titan, definitely the most important.
Yeah. So, but because like some of the best ones actually do get ported to the next gen consoles, so we might see that coming out on like your PS4s and your Xbox Ones.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd very much like to see that. Sorry, I glanced over at these Civil War memes again. Why did I do that? Just shows it all zoomed in on his face and Captain America goes, duck season. And then he switches over and he goes, wabbit season. It's a Civil War. I don't know if you remember that old school cartoon.
Yeah. Wabbit season.
Wabbit season.
Frozen.
Anyway.
Frozen was better than Tangled. No, it wasn't. Civil War.
Civil War. Then one where he goes, I've never liked your spinach puffs. And then it zooms in on Captain America's face. And then it goes back to Iron Man and goes, never. The Civil War. Oh, okay, I'm done. Sorry about that. That's not the news. Yeah.
All right. Any other news stories?
Not much. I know that. Did you ever play that Broforce game?
Broforce. No, I saw I saw some gameplay footage though.
Oh, okay. They just released like an Alien one. At some point, like right now, Steam's got like a co-op sale going on because of Valentine's Day. Maybe by the time you guys hear this, it won't be going on, but. It's like basically anything that you can sit down with your loved one and play games. So me and David will play together.
Yeah.
And
sure.
And so like that was one of those, this Broforce thing. But yeah, you could go check that out. I guess if it's still up, co-op games I'm a big fan of. So I imagine at least some people that listen to the show might also be excited about those. But they're on sale. So yeah, check it out.
Cool.
Anyway, other than that, there was not a lot going on this week. There really wasn't. There was a big patch, and Here's the Storm, which if you like that, then that's huge. But other than that, like I got nothing, and I was looking for it, just wasn't there.
The only real big news story I saw was Spider-Man, and that's not even really video game related. It's just kind of everything related.
Yeah. I know that that new Assassin's Creed, or not new, but Assassin's Creed Rogue, that's getting ported over. I think this coming week. Is that right? Or has it already been ported over?
To what?
To like PC and stuff. Wasn't it like just on like the shitty like little Vitas and 3DS or some nonsense before? Or maybe console?
I don't know. I completely missed the launch of that because it came out at the same time as Unity.
Yeah, that's right. Did you finish Unity?
No, I'm about halfway through it. It's just so overwhelming. There's so much. Like every time I open up the map, my soul dies a little bit because there's so many stupid little chests and collectibles everywhere. It's I need to get back into it.
What about Inquisition? Weren't you playing that?
Another game I'm about halfway through and then lost interest in.
See, I was kind of curious about that. I guess I could wait until the gaming experiences to hear about all this. So maybe we should do that. Go into the gaming experiences. All right, so this is the gaming experiences section where we talk about the games that we've been playing. And yeah, I think it goes without saying I've been playing Here's the Storm because that game, dude. I've never been a MOBA guy. What the hell? What's going on?
And you've been playing a new character lately.
The Lost Vikings are hilarious. Oh man, so it's weird because there's nothing from what I hear, from what other people say. There's nothing like this in other MOBAs, like where you have more than one character to control. This one's 3. So it's really interesting. You can do a lot of really fun stuff, like send a person to each lane and kind of harass, or put them all together and wreck shit. But it's fun, man. You get little camps by yourself, and
it's basically designed for people who are used to RTSs. It's way more of a multitasking, actions per minute kind of character.
Yeah, it is. It's stressful. Just a lot of clicking, a lot of moving around. Easy to mess up, and I do often. I'll just leave a guy right in the middle of the lane, and some guy will just walk up and assassinate him because they have like no health.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that was stupid. But yeah, you can do a lot of good. I like that because like there's usually a bunch of things that need to be done at any one time. You know, it's kind of like time management in that MOBA, and this allows you to kind of do more than one. You're like, oh, I'll go see if I can't grab that tribute while I'm also getting a camp over here and soaking this lane. It's just fun. They're so fun, and they're hilarious.
They've got ridiculous Swedish accents, so it's just amazing. You never play with your headphones on, so I can always hear them when they're talking to you. It's just like, I'm Olaf, I'm very hungry. Like,
maybe I could use lasagna. Like, it's just hilarious. But anyway, yeah, that's really fun. There's a lot of like competitions right now. They gave a lot of beta keys for anyone who's trying to get into the closed beta. Give a lot of beta keys out, so you may look for those competitions. There's like one on Polygon and what else? A lot of like sites and Twitch streams and stuff. So if you guys want to play, definitely invite me. I'll play with you because my friends don't play as much as I do.
Your Vikings are already level 8. You got them last night.
They're so fun. Did you play any Inquisition at all, or Unity, or just no?
No, I just played Final Fantasy IV. Got really far into it near the end of the game. It's nostalgic. Definitely brings me back, and they've added a lot of things to the PC remake, so it's pretty fun. Pretty fun little buy when Squaresoft was doing their sale.
Yeah, I never played Final Fantasy IV. What's the plot of that one?
They're trying to. It's like your cliche Final Fantasy plot, but this was back before it was a cliche. Like there's these elemental crystals. There's a water, earth. It's kind of like a Bravely Default. There's these 4 crystals of different like elements, and the bad guy's trying to collect them all, and you're trying to stop them.
Oh, okay. That sounds like every D&D plot ever.
Yeah.
Collect the thing.
Collect the 4 MacGuffins before the big bad gets them. And then they do all the cliches, like they capture your girlfriend, and they're like, "We're gonna make him get the crystal, and then we'll trade her life for the crystal." And you're like, "Oh, classic, classic villainy."
Classic. Final Fantasy cliche.
And I bet when I give it to him, he's gonna inevitably betray me and try to murder me when I come to deliver the crystal, and he does.
That's why I liked 8 so much. It was just weird. I still don't know what the plot was. Something about a moon and like rockets.
Yeah,
and
there's
shit,
a
and you
plot
died
on this one too. He needs all 8 crystals so he can open the path to the moon.
What is up with Japanese people on the moon? Just a weird orbiting thing.
Yeah, well, there's 2 moons in this one, and there's monsters on one of them, I think. But there The one thing that Final Fantasy IV does that other games in the franchise don't do is it kills characters a lot. Like you can only have 5 people in your party, and so when you get a new character, you're like, oh, someone's gonna die, because like they're either gonna die or leave the party. But about half the time, they just die.
I'm glad that doesn't happen in real life. You're like, you made a friend? Yep, one of the existing one's gonna get cancer.
Your current group is gonna die.
You never know if it's you. It's like Final Destination.
Yeah, so I just got to this point where I'm just selfishly putting all the power-ups on my main character because I know he's gonna make it. Everyone else is like probably gonna die after I give them the plus 50 hit point permanently power-up.
Just one super epic guy. It's like in a what is that? Super Mario All-Stars? Was it? No, not All-Stars. What was the one? The RPG one?
Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars.
Legend of the Seven Stars. That's it. Yeah, I always give it to Mario because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna use these other guys very long because you get the weird Toad guy like Mallow, and then and Bowser. I just switched them out so much that I didn't even know. I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna.
Everything goes to Mario.
All those little flower tabs or whatever that you got that buffed up your character, those go to Mario.
That's welcome to Luigi's life, man. Everything goes to Mario.
That sucks, man. Yeah.
You notice Luigi wasn't even in that game.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't even play as Luigi. What the hell? They had Mallow.
They invented new characters for that game just so that Luigi wouldn't be playable.
Gino, remember Gino?
Yeah, the stupid
wooden boy.
puppet.
He got gameplay. Luigi didn't. Was Luigi even ever anywhere in that game? Like even.
He might have been like a hidden character, like at the Final Fantasy boss.
Yeah, like a Ruby weapon or whatever.
Yeah, or Link. He was in there. I think Link was in that game, but not Luigi.
Oh my god! Wait, Link? Could you play him?
No, he was just like a random guy sleeping in the inn, and it was Link.
Okay.
You could like hop on his bed.
Of course you can.
Wake up!
That game was so fun.
The game was fun.
I can't explain it, but anyway. So you were playing Final Fantasy IV and you haven't beaten it yet.
Yeah, still playing that. I want to get that new SquareSoft game that came out last week, a couple weeks ago, the Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hype around that. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, it's getting really good reviews. It's supposed to be like an indie movie / with The Walking Dead mixed with time travel, mixed with going home. Like it looks good.
Really? I don't. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it. All of a sudden, I just saw like these reviews. Like people are like, "This game is good."
Well, we covered this game a couple episodes ago. It was the one where the developers were trying to run it by different publishers, and they were all like, "Yeah, too many female leads. Change them to male leads, and we'll talk." And then Square was like, "Yeah, just do whatever you want."
That's the one you're talking about. Okay, that's this one.
Yeah, this is that game. So it's got 2 female leads, and so nobody wanted to publish it because misogyny is still a thing in the world in 2015.
That's weird because you get these games that come out that are hugely popular, like Tomb Raider, Child of Light. A lot of games where I've had to play girl leads, which I don't normally do. I don't ever choose to play one because I'm always like, well, play me. So I pick a guy. And hopefully, if you get a customizer, I'm trying to make him look like my face because it's me as a Jedi or whatever. So, but and I enjoyed the hell out of them. What's that called? What's the really awesome one? I keep wanting to say This War of Mine, but it's not. The one with Troy Baker and Ellen Page, basically, but not Ellen Page.
The Last of Us.
Last of Us, yeah. You play as a girl, like, through part of that, so, like, what the hell? Chill. The girl thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's clearly the audience is ready for it, but the developers are still largely old, misogynistic men.
Oh, you think it's like the money bags behind it?
Yeah, like the people funding it. I think it's the people making the games. They're pretty young. It's a generational thing. I think it's just the money's coming from like your kind of racist old grandpa who's got the purse strings on the project. And they're like, well, maybe take out some of those colored folks from your game, and we'll talk about making it.
Yeah.
You're like, colored folks?
Oh, you mean African Americans? Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I said.
Well, that's too bad. Hopefully the game does. I hear it's doing pretty well for itself, but isn't it like an episodic type format?
Yeah, it's coming out. It's kind of like a Telltale Games kind of thing, but from all reports I've read, they're doing a better job than Telltale Games. Like they've improved on their formula.
Okay.
But the last thing I saw about it was like things Telltale could learn from Life is Strange.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Now I really want to play the game.
Yeah. So I'll have to check it out. It's $20 right now if you get all 5 episodes, or just $5 an episode if you want to do it that way.
Huh. Okay, I'm sure I can. It's tax season, you know. It's coming up.
Yeah, don't remind me. I filled out my W-2 wrong last year, so like I clicked head of household because I was like, yeah, I'm the only person in my house. I contribute. And it's like, check this box if you contribute more than 50% of your household expenses. And I was like, yeah, that's me. Turns out you have to have dependents to be a head of household. So they were not withholding the amount of money they were supposed to do. So I filed my taxes, and it's like, you owe $700 to the government.
Oh my God, dude, that sucks.
Yes, I'm pretty broke. That's a pretty substantial chunk of my paycheck.
Holy cow. Oh, okay. I just put my wife to work, so she makes all the money for me. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, what is that?
She makes so much money.
How come you get a tax break for having a dual income household? They're like, oh, you have a wife that's also earning money? Tax break. And I'm like, what about me? It's just me. They're like, yeah, fuck you. $700, please.
It is so backwards because they're like,
you guys didn't have kids. It's just like, oh, you're married here. You not only do you have someone to go home to at night, but you get some tax breaks. Why not?
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Really
I guess it's just
income suicides in the singles demographic.
Yeah, get fucked, man. It's nice to be middle class. Low class or like the poor class sucks, and then when you're rich, like I mean, I'd rather be rich, but still, you get a lot of your money taken away.
I make I think when I filed, I made like $29K that year. And they're like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you, poverty person. We need a substantial chunk of your money.
Jeez. Yeah. So.
I understand tax breaks for kids because those guys are expensive, but like tax breaks for having a wife that brings home a second paycheck? Fuck that.
Yeah, she brings home a lot. She works 3 days a week, and we make really good money. So I don't know. Anyway, so I'll probably buy that game. You never know.
Awesome.
She keeps giving me shit because like I spend money on games, and so she always like tries to keep
research.
I know exactly. Yes, it's for the fans. Come on. No, it's not because I bought like the Lost Vikings. So they don't give a shit.
Talked about it on the show. Boom.
Yeah. See, I'm sure that there was like someone in the car somewhere who's like, yes, thank you. And I'm like,
yeah, there's someone out there that was on the fence. They're like, am I gonna get the Vikings? Let's see what Jeremiah says.
Now yeah, sure, yeah. I'll bet that happened. But yeah, that's good. But maybe I'll get tomorrow off, man. We're supposed to get winter weather here. What the hell? It's in Mississippi.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow here too. Like Colorado's weird in that we'll have like 60 degrees 6 days a week, and then it'll drop down to 20 and have a blizzard, just once a week. So I think Monday is our winter day this week, and then it goes back to spring.
Ah, okay. Yeah, this is here. This is probably the only. They don't even see snow here, so this is gonna be crazy. It's supposed to be ice. It's not even snow. I got a winter advisory and it said ice pellets. I never heard of that. I was like, you mean hail? And they're like, no, ice pellets.
Pellets of ice, not hail. It's different.
All I learned is that God hates Mississippi. The summers are horribly hot.
They love him.
They love him. We are the second most religious state, maybe the first most. I can't remember, but yeah. So what can you do? Anyway, but maybe if I get the day off, I'll be able to monopolize on that and play some games.
Nice. But
might be kind of slow for me. I just got my last copy of my thesis back, so I just wish they just let it go. No one's gonna read it anyway. It's just dumb shit. They're like, oh, you didn't report about skew and kurtosis, and I was like, nobody gives a shit about skew and kurtosis. Nobody. Fine, I'll do it. I'll write it. Obviously, I looked at it, but just dumb shit like that.
I love kurtosis.
And he's like, I know.
It blocks lightsabers.
Kurtosis, yeah, kurtosis weave. Oh yeah, kurtosis. Yeah, this is KUR, and it's basically like how steep or how wide your normal curve is.
I got super bored just having you explain that.
I know. See,
that one sentence.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. But you know what's funny about people in Mississippi? Actually, this was kind of relevant and kind of cool. People in Mississippi are more likely to be compliant pro-socially than people elsewhere, and they're less likely to be altruistic. That's pretty weird. So, if anything, people are doing things for the look of things, which is pretty hilarious, or because someone asked them to, but they're less likely to do it on their own. So, that's strange, and it has to do with skew and kurtosis, but that's a lot more interesting than if I said it a different way, like talking about the data.
Do we have listeners in Mississippi?
I don't know. I hope not. If you do, I'm sorry. But I don't know. Maybe you get the random person who's interested in, or who lives here and actually likes it. Because most people who move out don't move back. It's like one of the most migrated from states.
Yeah, they released a map of like the migration patterns across the United States, like who all is from where in each state. It's pretty interesting.
Really? Okay, man, I need to go look that up. I just
There's a
saw a statistic about
substantial
it.
amount of like people born in other countries and that live in Arkansas. But when you factor in Bentonville, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And that's it. It's just a nice place. Northwest Arkansas is nice. Just honestly, they have a huge income. They just build whatever they want as a city. They're just like, let's redo the roads like you did last year. Like, I know, we got tons of money. Let's do it. So that's just pretty nice. And moving here, it's just a whole different thing. We have no money, and the roads are awful. The main highway here is just shit.
I couldn't get to your house when I came to visit you. Like they were like, "Yeah, we just closed the road that leads to his house." I'm like, "Well, how do I get there now?" They're like, "I don't know. Just drive through the college. You can go through the campus. Drive through the campus just to get to like your area of Oxford."
Yeah. Take your horse and buggy. You're like, "I have a car." They're like, "What? That's crazy."
Well, get out of here, carpetbagger.
Yeah, carpetbagger. Yankee.
Take your car with you.
Yeah. So that's fun. Anyway.
Carry yourself in on a pallet carried by slaves. That's how we get around.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think you'd find a lot of that sentimentality here. We get in trouble all the time for racist shit. I'm so sick of it. I'm like, those people aren't like me.
At least you're not Alabama, though. They've been getting in trouble a lot over the, well, you know what? I know the judge said we had to give out gay marriages, but now no one gets married. What now?
Yeah, and then like the top judge is like, yeah, just kidding. You guys have to. That was really dumb. It's so weird. But anyway, yeah, we were the ones who get screwed for like our school being super racist. Like, there's oh my god, the very first black person to ever go to college, James Meredith. I don't know if you've heard of him. He went to college here at Mississippi, at the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. And so there's a statue of him like walking to the campus. Somebody put a noose on it and then screamed like the N-word over and over again in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. I was like, don't.
1970.
This was last year.
2014. Okay. Wow.
There's like a bunch of frat boys who did it, and oh my, and it made national news, and I'm like, stop doing that, please. I'm not here for long, but just while I'm here, just don't do that, please.
I hate when you have to be embarrassed about what's on your transcript, what's on your resume. You're like, yeah, I went to Mississippi. Like, I have the same thing. Like, Utah's always in the news for, like, girl doesn't have sleeves on her dress, gets slut-shamed out of her prom. And then, like, every year, like at least twice a year, some kind of story comes out of Utah like that. And I'm like, this is why I can't tell people I went to school at Brigham Young University. You guys are stop. You're embarrassing me.
It's by proxy. Yeah, that's Mississippi. So, anyway, but games I played. Games. I got a chance to start that Never Alone game. Have you ever heard about that?
Yes, but I don't really know what it's about.
It's also called Kiss. I'm gonna try this. This is a like Inuit word or whatever. The Native Americans that lived in Alaska. Kisima Ingitchuna.
Was this the game that was made by like Inuit developers?
Yeah, or it was made by. I think it was made by non-Inuits, but they went up there and talked to them for a long time, and it's just rife with it. It's more of a cultural. The thing that made me want to buy it is because I read a review that said it's more of a cultural, like, it's not even, they were like, it's not even really a game, it's just like a way to experience a different culture. And I was like, whoa. I'm always looking at, like, well, I guess people who listen probably already know this, but I like new novel experiences in games, and so this one really drove me in, and it's good. Like, it's weird, but it's good. I only played like probably a few minutes of it, but because Here's the Storm to play, you got to do that. But I plan to get back to it. It looks fun, and it's a different experience, kind of like the War, This War of Ours or whatever, This War of Mine. Just a different kind of game.
I love that games are developing kind of an indie scene. Like movies have like indie movies and art house movies and foreign films, and now like games are getting that kind of genre.
Yeah, you get your like
kind of experimental art almost.
You get your Michael Bay Call of Duty, right? And then you've got your like what's that guy that makes all those
your summer blockbusters?
Yeah, and who's that guy? There's one guy who made like Grand Budapest Hotel and all those weird films like that. You know what I'm talking about? He just did a Fox movie and some shit. Like, anyway, this isn't a film podcast, so you're not expected to know. But anyway, that guy's weird, and I think that this is a game like that. It's just it seems like a fun like experience. It's an experience more than it is a game.
Cool.
But,
we'll have to talk about that more next week.
Yes, when I get a chance to play. Hopefully, when I get snowed in tomorrow. You never know. Keep your fingers crossed. But yeah, that honestly is about all I played. I've been pretty busy. I had I'm doing like 2 assessments a week now, which whenever you have to pass it through someone else and there's a whole review process, it takes forever, and it's just a lot of my home time I'm spent on the computer typing away. So anyway, yeah. But what about you? Any other games?
Not really. I'm just got my weird I can't finish games thing going on. So I've got Metroid Prime about halfway through, and
yeah, I forgot about that.
Mostly it's just Spider-Man Endless Run. It's cool because they're tying it into the Spider-Verse storyline that's going on in the comics. So the Inheritors are coming in, and you bring in new spiders from alternate universes to help you fight. So you've got your Ultimate Spider-Man and your Ultimate Jessica Drew and your Classic Jessica Drew and your Ben Reilly and your Kane and just all these different Spider-Man. Spider-Gwen, just in your roster, and you're just fighting Inheritors, but it's like a fun little endless run. So I don't know, it's strangely addicting.
That's so weird. That is so weird. You're weird, David. You've got these good games to play, and you're playing that. But I do the same thing. I play shitty games whenever there's better games to play.
Yeah, because it's just like a 20-minute investment. Just do a little run, then
do something else. You can pop it up and pop it down, and yeah.
Yeah, I can play it while I'm watching TV. It's very low maintenance.
That's what I liked about the 3DS versus other games. Back in the Game Boy days, you still had to have a save point and stuff. And 3DS, you just turn it off. It pauses. That's
awesome.
You
just close the screen and it just freezes what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so cool. So that's pretty helpful. Especially because now, as a parent, my son has a 2DS. And I'm like, turn it off. And he's just like, oh, I got it. I'm like, no, I know. You can just turn it off. So he does. But yeah, it's good times. But anyway, yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up that section. So we can move on to the main one. So we'll see you on the other side.